welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be talking about one of those very, very uncomfortable subjects. This story was shared with me by one of our viewers, and it's a story that we've heard before, and it's disturbing and very uncomfortable because you're not used to seeing these kinds of things, but you're starting to see it more and more and more. This is the story of a young woman who decided that she was going to use her newborn baby as a way to get back to the baby's father. And as the story goes, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of news coverage on this, so I want to speak about this in general because we've heard these things before, right? And sometimes it's just very strange when you hear these stories and you can't find it anywhere. You would think that it would be blowing up on the news. So I decided to speak about it in general because we've heard these situations before where a woman will use her children to try to get back at the baby's daddy because they have some type of breach in their relationship. Maybe he's moved on. Maybe he doesn't want to be with her anymore, or maybe he did something that she didn't like. Maybe he cheated or something like this. And so you'll have a woman in a situation like that who will use the child to try to hurt the man. Now, I'm going to talk about using in a different way. I'm not going to, because there's many different ways you can use a child, right? You can keep a man from his children, or you can do other things. But I want to specifically focus on women who set out to hurt their children to get back at a man. How low can you go? I mean, that's the first thing that just popped into my mind. When you carry a child in your womb for 9 months, it is unfathomable to me that a woman would actually want to use that child or hurt that child just to get back at a man. But we are living in a crazy, mixed up, crazy world right now to where, and I'm going to keep it real. And I've said this before, a lot of people got demons, y'all. Plain and simple. A lot of people have demons, and sometimes when they take their mug shots, you can see the demon sitting right up in them. If you look close enough, you can look into those eyes. They say the eyes are the mirror of the soul, or you can peer into a person's soul through their eyes. And so these women who set out to hurt their own children and record it so that they can get back at the baby's daddy. How low can you go? How low down do you have to be to hurt a newborn baby to get back at the father? And so there are a lot of troubles and woes in the world right now. Of course, we focus a lot on what happens in the black community because we are what they call so-called black people, although I know that we are not black. My skin is not the color of this. I'm not trying to get off into that right now, but there are so many things happening in the quote-unquote black community that you can't keep up with it all. And one of these days, I'm going to talk about the various groups because everybody in the black community are not the same. You cannot say that we are all the same. And so I want to break it down, okay? And not just say that we're not all the same, but I want to break it down into exactly what I'm talking about, okay? But back to the subject of women who use their children to hurt a man. That is a straight up demon in this woman. It is ignorance, because do you really think that man is going to say, okay, I'll be with you, just don't hurt my baby? Do you think that man is going to change his mind and drop to his knees and say, give me your hand in marriage, because you decided to threaten to hurt his child because he doesn't want to be with you? Or because he did something you don't like? Do you think that's going to change him or change his mind? What you have done is just shown how psychotic you are and how susceptible you are to demonic possession. Now, I can't have any pity for a person like that. I'm sorry. From time to time, I will get people in my comment section who want to throw the curses out and say, well, they didn't know any better, or our people are under a curse, or this or that or that or this. I don't care about that. I know what we're under. I know what the Most High has done to the so-called black community. I get all of that. But that is not an excuse, nor a reason to look the other way when someone does something this cold-blooded. You can't do something this cold-blooded and expect people to say, well, I sympathize with you. She must be going through a rough time. So you're going to send your baby through a rough time because you're going through one? I will say this much. And I'm not saying it as an excuse for anyone, because there is no excuse for certain things. Despite being under some curses or whatever, there's no excuse for certain things. The Most High expects us to choose ye this day whom you're going to serve. If you serve evil, you're going to do the wrong thing. If you serve the Most High, you're going to do the right thing. But what I wanted to say is this. Even though we can't justify these things, we do have to understand why these things are happening. Not necessarily that we have to understand the choices people are making, but understand why they're happening. These things are happening because people don't have a relationship with the Most High. That's kombucha. Kombucha, y'all. Kombucha mixed with a little grapefruit juice. But we don't have to understand these things as in sympathize or as in, oh, I understand. You understand them by saying there is a reason why these things are happening. And the reason why any woman would do these things is because she allowed something to enter into her mind. She allowed a thought that originated with the fact that this man got on her last nerves or did something that hurt her or left her or whatever. She allowed that relationship with that man to plant something evil in her heart and in her mind, in which the heart and the mind are connected. Okay. And many believe that they are one and the same, the heart and the mind. She allowed this interaction with this man to interrupt her mind and her thoughts and her heart and cause her to do something evil. In other words, she did not bring into captivity that evil thought into obedience of our Creator. She did not arrest that thought. And because she did not arrest that thought, she thought, or she came up with an imagination that if she hurt the baby, or if she threatened to hurt the baby, or if she recorded herself hurting the baby and shared it with him, that this is somehow going to mend the relationship. You got to be out of your cotton picking mind to think that something like that is going to bring the relationship back together and mend it for the better. Anyway, family, I'm done with this video. I just wanted to share what was shared with me. And again, I shared it from a in general standpoint because the story that was shared with me, I haven't seen it on a lot of mainstream stations, right? And because I didn't see it on a lot of mainstream stations, I wanted to just cover it in general because we have seen situations such as this where a woman uses her child to get back at a man. I want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I really want to know what your thoughts are. Of course, I know most of you are going to say that you're going to agree with me that this is just some wickedness to the third degree. Wickedness to the third degree. Anyways, until next time. Until next time. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.